Hello, good evening, Tribuners. Welcome back with me, Mutiara, in Indonesian News of Tribun Lampung. We will present you an updating and interesting information from every place in Indonesia. And here, the complete news. The first news is the process of evacuating survivors from the attack in Papua. The evacuation process for Nelson Sarira, alias NS, the only employee of the East Palapa Telematics Company who survived the attack by the armed criminal group in Beoga District, Puncak Regency, Papua was dramatic. Nelson Sarira survived while 8 of his colleagues who were repairing the tower-based transceiver station, 3 Telkomsel were killed when they were attacked by the Papuan armed criminal group. They include Billy, Renal, Bona, Baby Tabuni, Jamal, Eko, and Pak D. Nelson Sarira said that when the attack was carried out by the armed criminal group on Wednesday, March 2022, he was not at base camp. But when he returned, he found 8 of his colleagues had died. Seeing that his colleagues were dead, at around 1 o'clock p.m., the witness asked for rescue assistance via CCTV tower BTS-3. Then at 4 o'clock, it was monitored on the PTT Central CCTV in Jakarta. Saturday, March 5, 2022, Nelson Sarira was successfully evacuated by the Cartons Peace Operation team led by the head of Cartons 2022 Peace Operation, Kombes Pol Muhammad Firman. Now Nelson Sarira is in Timika for medical treatment. The next news comes from Kalimantan. Search for drowning victims in Kayan River. The search operation for the drowning victim named Ahmad Dani, who was 20 years old in the Kayan River, will be carried out for 4 days by a joint search and rescue team consisting of the Bulungan Regional Disaster Management Agency, the Tarakan City Search and Rescue Team, and the Water and Air Police from the Bulungan Reserve Police. Ahmad Dani's victim, who drowned in the Kayan River, was the captain of Kayan tugboat 3 belonging to the Kayan Patria Propertindo Company. According to Darmawan, in the search for victims, the Bulungan Regional Disaster Management Agency has coordinated with the Tarakan City Search and Rescue Team to expand the search location. According to Tribun Kaltara.com's monitoring, 7 personnel from the Bulungan Regional Disaster Management Agency using 2 rubber motorboats with 18 PK engines have been alerted, and 2 PMK Bulungan personnel using a longboat. 3 PMI Bulungan personnel are also on standby on the mainland. For information, based on a news release from the Disaster Management Agency for the Bulungan area, the chronology of the incident on Friday night, March 4, 2022 at 11:30 p.m. One of the person on behalf of Ahmad Dani jumped into the river suspected of being under the influences of alcohol, and until now the victim has not been found. According to Darmawan, the search for drowning victim is estimated to be able to found within the next 4 days because the bodies are starting to decompose. Meanwhile, Darmawan also said that the Tarakan City Search and Rescue Team had also deployed an operational vehicle for 1 RIP unit. The next news comes from Indonesian capital city. Strong winds in Jakarta caused many trees to fall. A number of trees in South Jakarta were uprooted when heavy rains accompanied by strong winds hit the capital city on Saturday, March 5, 2022. Head of the South Jakarta Fire and Rescue Service, Kasudin Gulkarmat, Herbert Leader Lomba Gaul, said that there were 11 fallen trees in South Jakarta. Based on information compiled by TribunJakarta.com, the 3 points of the fallen tree were in the Minggusap district. One of the fallen trees fell on a residence house on Mujairaya Street, Jatipada. Meanwhile, two other fallen trees were in front of the Kebagusan village office and in front of the Siaga Hospital West Pejaten. In addition, there are 2 points of fallen trees in Jagakarsa area, namely on Sadaraya Street and Albayina Street. Several trees were uprooted, blocking access roads for motorcyclists and cars. Herbert admitted he had not received any information regarding whether or not there were casualties in the fallen tree incident at the 11 points. In addition to fallen trees, heavy rain and strong winds also caused the roof of Livo Mall Kemang, Mampang Perapatan, South Jakarta to collapse. 3 mall visitors suffered injuries, while the other 2 were in shock after experiencing the impact. All victims have been taken to Brawijaya Hospital, Kebayoran Baru. The next news is landslides and floods in the city of Manado. Landslides and floods surrounded the city of Manado on Friday, March 4, 2022. On Saturday, March 5, 2022, it was observed that in neighborhood Sikpal 2, Manado City, there was a landslide location and the water had receded. However, residents are still temporarily cleaning their houses, which have a lot of mud. Also, residents are cleaning their household items that are submerged in the flood, such as sofas. It was heard from the resident. They hope that it would not rain again today because if it rains, it could flood again. However, the morning atmosphere in the city of Manado is still cloudy. The sky is covered by thick clouds. One 2-story residence house, the bottom of which was destroyed by a landslide. Under the bed in front of room, go out of the room because the constraint of the front room was crushed. When interviewed by tribunmanado.co.id, Joyce Wulur, the head of the 6 Palduan neighborhoods, Manado City, said that the landslide occurred there at around 5 o'clock p.m. According to Joyce, in the 6th neighborhood there were several landslide points. About 6 houses were affected by landslides, but here the biggest and most severe belongs to Cliff Stupid. According to Joyce, for the time being there has been no assistance, but he has reported it to the leadership. However, currently there are many landslide locations and flooding everywhere. He said last week there was also a landslide in the complex. Joyce said that the government always urges the public to always be aware of the high rainfall every day in order to find a safe place. The next news comes from Batam. Tanjung Pinang KUD's new market collapses. The Tanjung Pinang KUD new market collapsed again on Saturday, March 5, 2022. The collapse of the Tanjung Pinang KUD new market shocks residents around the market. This is because the Tanjung Pinang KUD new market just collapsed on Sunday, February 22, 2022, causing a number of stores to lose money. The collapse of the floor in the market that had previously occurred made a number of traders hamper their sales. Now, the collapse of the Tanjung Pinang KUD market occurred in the market yard, where this location is a parking lot for vehicles. Based on a video received by Tribun.id, the collapse of the market caused a number of parked vehicles to sink into the sea. A parking attendant, as well as an eyewitness to the incident, Tampu Bolon, revealed that 3 adults suffered minor injuries, as well as a small child who suffered serious injuries to the head. The front yard, which is also a doorway to the traditional market, is known to have collapsed on Saturday, March 5, 2022 at around 9:45 a.m. In addition to a number of merchandise belonging to the seller, it is known that the motorcycle was damaged and collapsed along with the constraint platform. Tampu Bolon recounted that prior to the collapse of the 2 KUD market, there were signs that they had seen Tampu Bolon said that before the market collapsed, there were around 16 vehicles parked at the location. Previously, he had prohibited motorists who came to park in that place, but the motorcycle owner was adamant to keep his vehicle in front of the fish market. The next news comes from Pontianak. Landslides in Manpower District almost hit the prayer room. The summer or dry season has begun to enter Manpower Regency, so it is feared that forest and land fires will easily occur, which occur almost every year. There are already several areas in Manpower Regency that have been affected by forest and land fires. One of which is Sajegi village is Manpower District, which has also begun to be affected by forest and land fires. This forest and land fire occur in the Ma'arif Bahrul Ulum Islamic Boarding School environment in Tekam Hamlet. Sajegi village is Manpower District. The vacant land behind the Puncak caught fire and almost hit the female dormitory and the prayer room, even though the distance was only 1.5 meters from the fire point. The head of the Ma'arif Bahrul Ulum Islamic Boarding School, Kiai Muhaimin Haji Salam, said that it had been almost a week since the fire was extinguished and cooled down. The cleric also explained that the impact of land fires in the pesantren area almost hit the female dormitory and the Islamic boarding school prayer room. He reiterated that the land that was burned was the land of the Islamic boarding school. This area, all Islamic boarding school lands, which burned about 2 hectares. The cleric also explained that he didn't know the initial cause of the land fires in his Islamic boarding school area. He also thanked the various parties who participated in the firefighting process. And the last news comes from Pontianak. Subsidized cooking oil is in short supply. In the increase in commodity prices, cooking oil occurred in all parts of Indonesia, especially West Kalimantan, which had started to rise in price at the end of the year 2021. To reduce the burden on society, the government acted quickly by issuing regulation regarding the procurement of cooking oil at subsidized prices. Based on the regulation of the Minister of Trade number 3 year 2022 concerning the supply of packaged cooking oil for the needs of the Indonesian people. The regulation, which has come into effect since the 19th of January 2022, for the next 6 months, stipulated the price of market cooking oil, especially modern retail and traditional markets, at a price of 14,000 rupiah for 1 liter. From a general perspective, the increase in the price of basic necessities that must be in the kitchen, of course, is burdensome for the community. Assistance for subsidized cooking oil is still quite difficult to find in the field. 2 of residents of Pontianak City share their story of trying to find subsidized cooking oil in the field. Ulan, a young mother of 1 child who lives on Ampera Way, Pontianak City, said that it was difficult for her to find subsidized cooking oil, if any. She had to Kuayu first. Ulan also said that she once intended to look for subsidized cooking oil by going around shops that have been the potential to sell subsidized cooking oil. Because it was difficult to find subsidized cooking oil, she ended up buying cooking oil at non-subsidized prices. According to her, cooking oil is a necessity that must be in the kitchen. One of the other residents, Annie, said that she always ran out of stock when she wanted to buy subsidized cooking oil. He added that he wants so much to get subsidized cooking oil, she wants to pay the shop owner who prepared the subsidized cooking oil the price in an advance. Well, that's all the news for today with me, Motiara. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.